Okay, next, going down the File menu, we're going to take a look at Extract Audio from CD. This is a really cool feature within SoundForge, and it allows you to basically rip audio off of any Redbook Audio CD and then get it inside SoundForge and do with it what you will. So just be careful with the copyright stuff, boys and girls. Let's take a look. Okay, here we are within SoundForge, just an empty workspace. We'll go up to the File menu and scroll down to Extract Audio from CD. Now, what's going to happen here when we launch this is it's going to give us this dialog box here. And what it's doing is I've got a Redbook Audio CD that I burned with 3 tracks on it in the CD player of the PC. Now, I've got some options here in terms of the actions. I can read by track, I can read the entire disc, or I can read by range. And most 99.9% of the time, you're going to be reading by track. So you've got the tracks indicating what type it is, gives it its start time, end time, how long the track is, and all that kind of good stuff. You can create regions for each track, and this is going to be selected if you're going to go ahead and read the entire disc. That makes it a lot easier to then see what you've got going on afterwards. You can also create markers for each index change. Again, if you have a whole bunch of tiny little clips, let's say you're bringing a bunch of sound effects off of a CD or something like that, those would be more helpful types of things to do in those situations. Down below here, you've got the choice of drive. I've only got one drive in my machine, so that's all that shows up. But if you have more than one, you can choose which one you want. Also, it gives you a choice of speed at which it will take the audio off the CD. I've never ever changed it from max. Usually I just let it go to whatever the hardware will allow. Under the configure menu, this is useful if there's problems with the disk. You can use this slider, and most of the time, I've rarely ever used this. I've only had to use this maybe once or twice when I've had a CD that was very damaged or old, and the drive was having a hard time reading the file off of it. You can make adjustments on this, and it's just a trial and error kind of thing to get it to kind of slow down the process and read the data more carefully. And then obviously just ejecting the disk. Now when I go up here and I can select the individual tracks that are on the disk, I can take a look at it, and then I can also play and sample it. So I'm going to click on this first track and hit play. There we go. So I can sample that, or I can sample the other track. I can sample each one to, obviously find out which is the correct track that I want to digitize from and capture. Once I've determined which track it is that I want to capture, I'm going to say it's going to be this one here. Just hit the OK button, and there it is, extracting from CD, track number 3. It gives me a status window down here, and voila, there it is. I can put my playback head here, hit play, and away you go. There it is. It brought it in. As a default, it brings it in, and if I were to just go up and do Save As right now, it would be in whatever format I'd had saved last. So I can save it as whatever. It can be saved as an MP3, it can be saved as a WAV, it can be saved in any format that SoundForge supports. But the cool thing is that it easily allows you a way of taking tracks off of CDs and getting them into SoundForge so that you can then edit them together, make changes to them, adjust levels, do restoration, whatever it is you need to do.